Every year, when ginger is cheap, my mother usually buys a lot to use gradually. But she's always worried that if ginger isn't stored properly, it will dry out or sprout very quickly. Once, she left some ginger in the refrigerator for a few days. When she took it out to use, it had dried out. Some pieces had even started to sprout. After that, I tried many different methods and only kept 3 of the simplest, easiest, and most convenient methods in the kitchen. Today, I want to share them with you. Let's begin. Method 1. After buying ginger, before starting any preparation or preservation steps, I wash it thoroughly and let it dry completely like this. First, I cut the ginger into moderately sized pieces, not too small. Cutting it this way makes the blender run more smoothly and is easier to use. Then, I put the ginger into the blender. I don't blend until it's completely smooth. I stop when the ginger is lightly crushed and still slightly coarse. At this stage, the ginger has a wonderful aroma. It's perfect for cooking or making tea. After blending, I put the ginger into a Ziploc bag. Then, I spread the ginger evenly in the Ziploc bag to fit the size of the bag. Next, I use a flat-tipped spoon to divide the ginger into straight lines, 4 lines horizontally and 5 lines vertically. After dividing, I put the ginger in the refrigerator to freeze. Where are you from? Please leave a comment and let us know. It's great that we can make friends from all over the world. This keeps the refrigerator from taking up space while the ginger is neatly stored. Since using this method, cooking has become so much easier for me. Whenever I need ginger, I just take out a frozen ginger cube and use it immediately. No chopping, no thawing, and no extra knife or cutting board to wash. This is a method my mother has used for many years. Whenever ginger is cheap, she prepares it this way to use gradually. It's very convenient and saves a lot of money. Method 2. The previous method was very helpful, but there's another way that doesn't require grinding. It's especially useful for those who don't have a blender in the kitchen or simply don't like using one. When the ginger is completely dry and feels this dry to the touch, I put the whole ginger root into a large glass jar. I don't pack it too tightly so the ginger doesn't get crushed. I keep the ginger whole without peeling or cutting it. This helps preserve the natural aroma of the ginger and is very convenient to use. After putting the ginger in, I seal the lid tightly. Then, I put the whole jar in the freezer. This method requires almost no preparation, but it helps the ginger last a long time without drying out, molding, or absorbing odors from other foods. When needed, it's extremely convenient. I just take the frozen ginger out, grate it, or slice it into a few thin slices, and use it immediately. No thawing required. At this point, the ginger is firm, easy to grate, not slippery, not soft, and not mushy. The ginger still retains its fresh aroma, and its warm, spicy flavor remains intact. After use, I close the lid and put the jar in the freezer for later use. On busy days, I often choose this method because it's quick, simple, and requires very little effort, while still preserving the delicious flavor of ginger for cooking or making tea. The first 2 methods make using ginger very convenient in daily cooking. The next tip I want to share is a way to utilize the sliced ginger from the beginning of the video, which helps preserve it longer and is very convenient for everyday cooking. First, I put all the prepared ginger into a blender. Then, I add a little filtered water. Not too much, just enough to make the blender work easier and help the ginger blend smoothly. After blending, you will see that the ginger mixture is quite thick and has a very distinctive aroma. Now I prepare a large bowl, placing a clean cheesecloth on top. If you don't have cheesecloth, you can use a thin cloth or filter bag, as long as it can separate the liquid from the pulp. Then, I pour all the blended ginger onto the cloth. Then slowly roll it up and gently squeeze. When squeezing, you will see the ginger juice flow into the bowl, while the pulp will be retained inside the cloth. I will save this ginger juice for the next tip. Many people usually throw away the ginger pulp, but it can actually be very useful. After squeezing, I opened the cloth and set the ginger pulp aside on a plate. Next, I prepared several small Ziploc bags. Dividing it like this makes it easier to use later. I only need to take out a sufficient amount each time without having to thaw the whole thing. I put each portion of ginger pulp into the bags, gently press them to make them compact, and then seal them tightly. After completing this, I put all these bags in the freezer for storage. When needed, you just take out a bag and can use it directly or thaw it quickly to use immediately. This method not only helps the ginger last longer, but is also very convenient, especially when you don't have much time to prepare each time you cook. The last tip I want to share is to use the strained ginger juice to make a ginger syrup, which is easy to store and very convenient to use. First, I put all the ginger juice into a small pot. Then, place it on the stove and heat it over medium heat. While heating, remember to stir constantly so that the ginger juice doesn't settle to the bottom of the pot or burn, as ginger juice tends to stick to the bottom when heated. When the water starts to heat up, I add a bowl of brown sugar. You can adjust the amount of sugar according to your taste. If you prefer a milder sweetness, add less. And if you want a stronger flavor, you can add a little more. Brown sugar will give the ginger juice a milder sweetness and a more beautiful color. After adding the sugar, I continue stirring until the sugar is completely dissolved in the ginger juice. Maintain medium heat and stir gently until the mixture begins to thicken. At this point, you will see the ginger juice become slightly thicker, and the aroma will be noticeably stronger. Once the desired consistency is achieved, I turn off the heat and let it cool naturally. After it has completely cooled, I pour the ginger syrup into a clean glass jar for storage. Using a glass jar helps preserve the flavor better and is also safer for storage. Whenever you need it, just scoop out a little, put it in a cup, and add warm water to drink. It's very quick and convenient, especially on cold days or when you feel a little tired. Ginger water is not only easy to drink, but also helps warm the body and effectively relieves mild colds. Making a jar like this in advance at home is very convenient. You can have it ready whenever you need it without having to prepare it from scratch. Of these 4 methods, which one is best suited to your kitchen? Or do you have any other ways to preserve ginger that you use daily? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for watching until the end, and see you in the next kitchen tip.